shot.
170.
Rise elimination on blind.
They do have a launch pad. Not sure if they're going to use it yet. Margossi hiding by himself. He's just right now playing more towards looking, see if people push from behind him and maybe get a free.
Oh God, what is wrong? Really? Escape that one. I forgot to feel relaxed. Hey, how y'all feel relaxed? I forgot to feel relaxed. I forgot to spell it. Oh, I got it. Never mind. Oh, I got it. Never mind.
Oh no, Marksman clutches it out. No, second place. Dementos wins it with 12 HP. I thought Marksman had it. I thought he did. Cloaksy is the MVP so far today, man, with the plays he's making.
Right there at the end, though, Dementos securing second place, and Pate knocked out first for that duo the game before. Excellent placement for these two so far.
Oh.
Marksman living on almost a prayer towards the end of that match. If we saw his HP over the course of the previous 3 minutes. You see here, this stack of players here. Marksman down there, you see very bottom of the screen, the number 57. He must have had 15 HP or less. Still alive, bottom of this stack, just waiting it out with a storm, kind of taking his time, taking shots up above. There it is. An excellent set of plays. Cloak and Tfue lasting almost until the last second. We've seen those two, like you said, all for P1 put on an excellent show.
Oh, yeah.
This is just the build-up. I expect big things from them next game.
Remember,
the momentum
Royale
starting.
is $50,000. So Marksman was one shot away, obviously, with how weak Dementos was. You saw there the victory coming on in. Congratulations to Dementos and Pate for that victory royale. That'll earn them at least 3 points too.
Plus another $50,000. That's
yeah.
$100,000 based on victory royales for that duo alone.
Pretty
I
nuts
hope
stuff.
they realize that, because if they don't, they're gonna soon.
Pretty nuts stuff no matter what. Tfue and Cloaksy, another very good placing though. You've got to think they probably continue to hold on to that lead after game number 2. We are just a third of the way through the action, folks, for the Fortnite Fall Skirmish Grand Finals live from TwitchCon. Tfue dropped to the storm there after he got cracked by a shotgun, which dropped him down to, I believe, just 5 HP. This packed crowd, people wanted to grab some food, wanted to make sure they're locked in and ready for the action that will continue. Just a few brief moments, but either way, fantastic start to the day, to say the least.
Now, I want to point out as the camera's panning over the audience here, which, by the way, make some noise if you're here in San Jose, please. Yeah. One of my favorite things about the Fortnite competitive community is the support that you see from every single player.
Oh, yeah.
As we were looking through there, I saw, Vivid, can you raise your hand? I saw him out there in the crowd.
What a guy.
They're all part of the same group. They're all friends, and you can see that behind the scenes. And even here on camera, you've got people watching these games because they want to support their teammates, Jack.
You know, they feel a connection. A lot of these guys stream, they make videos, they're people in the community, they're involved as well. You see Saf, this was the play.
Speaking of supporting your teammates, Saf picking up the save there.
No.
Giganza flying up. We've seen him with the grappler in previous games during the heats, and just putting on an excellent show flying up top there. The grappler, one of the best utility items in the game right now.
100%, 100%.
Lyle and Dean, you have some crazy plays from all these players, but Cloak, this top-down view on a number of players mid-fight. The positioning knowledge from players like him, it's unbelievable. They know exactly where to be and when to be, and not overbuild. We've seen some players overbuild and put walls up preemptively, but man, this duo, already 2 wins, 2 victory royales under the belt. That's gotta feel good, Jack.
Oh man, that's absolutely nuts. As there, you know, we've got our updated standings we can take a look at here momentarily as we hop on in, firing them right to you. No, okay, because of the victory royale.
There it is.
Dementos and Pate will now take that top spot, having that tiebreaker, even though they have, what, 6 less limbs than Cloaksy and Tfue. It's the victory royale tiebreaker that makes a difference.
Back-to-back for the Mentos and Pate, which is huge. 7 points on the board, and 6 less eliminations is, I think that's saying something.
Yeah.
Placement does mean quite a bit. Nobody's pushed their way into the big bonus zone yet. You know, those additional eliminations past 7, each earning that duo a single point.
I don't know why I forgot that that's back-to-back for them.
That's, Jack, that's 2 in a row.
I kept hearing you mention, I'm like, wait, is that true? But then I'm like, yeah, I guess Ben's not lying.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think if they win the next game, that would be the first three-peat in Skirmish history.
I'm not going to try to correct you because I don't know if that's true.
I'm pretty sure
You might have made that up.
I absolutely might have made it up. Actually, I'm curious.
Nick Merckx and Aiden still in that 13th spot. Each game they get 3 limbs, earning them a point. No change there.
Hopefully somebody in production can double check. Honestly, that's such a big fact. If they go for a 3rd one right now and land that victory royale, that would be the first three-peat.
Think of all the, they're right now in first, which means that they would win $400,000 for that if it stayed this way. But they've already won $100,000 today because of their 2 victory royales.
I can't believe that. That's ridiculous.
Mentos is my favorite player. He's a great friend of mine.
I'm telling everybody that you play with that you said that.
See if he wants to go to a steakhouse or something. It's on him.
It's on him, absolutely.
Now, guess what? We finally have ourselves a Make It Rain winner.
$60,000 for this duo.
$60,000 earned for this duo during the Make It Rain bonus. And there it is. All they needed was 2 eliminations. 2 Fortnite elims netted. Yo-Yo, keep it up. And I don't game, bro. $60,000 US.
That's ridiculous for only 2 elims, which shows during those rotations
how slow it is.
The focus of these players is strategy, it's positioning.
Yep.
Even 60 grand isn't enough to make people shift their play style, and that's huge. That's a big statement about how important it is to go for the top placements in here. Is not even $60,000 enough motivation for these players to play out of their wheelhouse.
And right there, I can't tell if they found out yet what's happened, but they're just big chilling. Oh wow, the seating has now leaked into the Lazy Links area as people soon
might
are
be a golf hazard,
in the merch
Jack,
booth
but who cares?
Watching, watch out for flying golf balls
Competitive Fortnite changes the rules,
right?
Jack.
Hey, it's fine, it's fine. As this crowd repping their favorite clubs, the Dusty Dogs. They're the pennant that everyone here attending has had the chance to go ahead and pick up for free. Lucky Llamas in the back there as well. You'll love to see it. As again, we are just a 1/3 of the way through the action. This is not like days 1 and 2 where we only play 4 games in a heat. In the grand finals, the culmination of the Fortnite Fall Skirmish, 6 games. So even if you have an off 1 or 2, and as we've seen, all it takes is 1 solid game and you're boom. You could be right there in the top 10, top 5.
We've got 4 games left, Jack. I'm curious if we see players start to go for a big bonus for that the elimination point push to see if they can climb the board just a little bit more. Because once you get to 7, don't get me wrong, 7 is absolutely impressive, but every elim after that is another point, which can change your position on the leaderboard entirely. Now this view here as players are dropping down, Cloak and Tfue down here at the bottom, Marksman reminding people that, yeah, I might not have a whole lot of HP left, but I'm still alive.
I think
Dementos.
I'm wondering if Marksman had to reload. I think he swapped and
No
just
double teaming,
in that time where
bro.
he was swapping from his double barrel. Couldn't get the shot off in time. I mean, that could have been more down to the wire.
Look at that. The reaction from those players. Dementos might have missed the pump action shotgun shot, but swapping immediately to the AR. And
imagine how bad he would have felt there. Missing that pump shot at Marksman because he
don't
only
put
12
that
health.
on them, Jack.
Hey,
the cast of Skirmish might still be real.
They're doing okay. They've already won 100 grand. So they're feeling great. We will have an interview very, very shortly for you guys. Actually, I believe we've got Cam down on the floor with Dementos and Pate. Let's hear from them.
Yes, we do. We have these two fine gentlemen here who have shown just how dominant they can be. We predicted them on day one to show up huge, and so far they have. How are you guys feeling?
I'm feeling awesome, man. 2 in a row in the grand final. Like, that's incredible, man.
It really is. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling really good. It's actually insane that we can.
So in that first game, the heel off, you seemed pretty confident. You were sitting there, you were sitting pretty. Let's talk about that a little bit.
I don't know. We just played our game. Like, we were really confident before the start. I don't know. We just play our game and.
So far, you guys have taken both victory royales, and you're sitting on top. However, Cloak and Tfue right behind you guys, same number of points. You hold that tiebreak with the victory royales. Are you nervous?
Not nervous, man. We're going to make it 3 in a row.
Not nervous at all. Easy.
So in that 3 in a row, we have not seen 3 match wins in a row. Can the Latvian and the Norwegian do it? We'll see. Back to you, Courage and Lupo.
Wow, you heard him say 3 in a row. They're going. They're calling it right now.
Easy.
Wow. If they win 3 in a row, they have to give each of us $10,000 to their dollars.
They do.
Yeah,
it's in the contract. They didn't realize it, and it's going to happen. I mean, I think it's going to happen.
And then they have to give $5 to everyone in the crowd
single
as
person
well
here, yeah.
for lunch, right?
See?
All right, good.
They're on board, it seems. So are we.
They're set. They've got their travel already booked. What else are they going to do? I believe I've received word from production that we might just kind of keep this thing going and get into game 3 right away. We are getting the lobby all set up, but instead of taking a brief break now.
What do you guys think? You think just
going
going into the 3rd game, keeping this thing rolling? Good idea? That's what I thought. I think everybody here in San Jose is on board. We're at TwitchCon. And I've had an absolute blast of weekend, Jack. But, man, more Fortnite, I'm not going to say no.
No.
I won't complain.
Not at all. I will not be upset about it. So far, from what I've seen, haven't talked a lot about Chap. And that duo there with 72 hours, when, will they begin to make more noise as this goes on? We saw some, critiques of certain players from the previous days where maybe they played a little bit too passive, and that came back to bite them, from other people that didn't qualify. You got to think some of those teams that are lower down on the leaderboards right now, do they start going for more of those early eliminations? If you're Super Evan and Crazy, who have been landing inside of Tilted and have lost both games nearly off the bat to Nick Merckx and Aiden, is it time to change things up?
I feel like Super Evan and Godnick are in a position now where they have to have figured out the rotation path that these two take. They know exactly which building they're going to drop in. So even if they still want to go to Tilted, they don't necessarily have to play aggressive towards them. They can land the large gray building, rotate away through New and down to the pawn shop down at the bottom. Couldn't remember what it was off the top of my head for some reason. There are paths that they can take if they want Tilted to be their landing zone, but are potentially intimidated, not in necessarily a bad way, but just want to avoid that fight because like you said, it hasn't paid off the last 2 matches, and I feel like they had to have learned from that by now.
Oh, for sure, and you've got to think that comes into play. I do see the lobby filling on up here, folks. What a start we've had to the finals so far. We're just 2 games in. Game 3 about to be underway. Can't stress it enough. Use those hashtags if you're watching Fortnite TwitchCon. You see as well Fall Skirmish. Get involved in the conversation. The question I have for you, will Tfue and Cloaksy take back the top spot from Dementos and Pate? Tweet us. Let us know. And give me your reasoning.
Even as you're mentioning it, Jack, the crowd behind us kind of going a little nuts there.
Yeah.
I love to see the support for all these different duos, and a lot of these duos have become very rooted in the community. There's a lot of people that are out here. Look at that. Everybody T-posing. The T-pose.
Starting in the crowd.
All the T-pose.
As
everybody knows there, man.
They look great.
Just the nods. Slow nods.
As again.
One of the creepiest emotes in the game, man. I'm just saying.
Oh, for sure.
Freaks me out.
Scariest emote. One of the scariest emotes by far.
It is.
Because when you least expect someone T-posing,
I feel like you're the kind of person, like if we were mid-conversation just out at like out on the town or whatever, you might just do that while I'm talking, and I wouldn't know what to do, Jack.
Did you just think I'm gone and you stop talking?
You're like,
if I'm
Jack,
bored of
where
what
did
you're
you
saying,
go?
I just T-pose in real life.
You know my vision is based on movement, Jack.
Oh, it does
Won't be
happen
able to
with
see
old
you.
age. It does happen with old age. Thankfully for everyone here, Ben and I can stop talking about T-posing and can start talking about game
Absolutely.
Because here we go, folks. The battle bus has launched. At the end of this game, we'll be halfway through the action. You think we'll ever be able to explore that mountain out there one day in Fortnite?
I think anything's possible if you dream big enough, Jack. All right?
Why doesn't the mountain have a name?
We'll call it Courage Mountain.
Okay.
Deeming it right now. That's not Epic approved, by the way. Don't actually refer to that anywhere official. Thank you.
Here we
Players
go.
starting to drop out, Jack.
Chap in 72 hours. They're going whaling. You know they are.
Don't blame them. It's one of the best locations right now, early game to drop. The cabins have a number of chests in the attics and down in the basements. You also have the giant bunker underneath where the maze is. It's interesting, too, to me that the surface there, that floor is wood that is painted green. Did you fall for that at first? Be honest with me.
I had no idea. I had to be told by my chat what was going on down there.
Not surprised in the slightest.
I mean, then again, the other memes, I didn't know what to believe because bunker and whaling has been the going meme for 4 seasons now.
Every single time an event happens, guys, the bunker's open, go check it out, and it's not yet.
The bunker is where my hopes and dreams lie.
A couple of these players already picking up big shields there. Vanitize and Windwalker both going to sit at 150 in a moment there. Dementos and Pate, the back-to-back winners, actually with a split drop, which is relatively surprising, on top of the hill and down at the corrupted area. But you know what? If nobody else is around, which they aren't, you might as well. But they're not the only split duo here. We have actually a handful of teams that have landed in relatively separate areas. The play there, Jack, if they know that there's nobody around, they have a chance to build up resource, weaponry way faster than anybody else. Even Tfue and Cloak right here. Cloak building up as he's ramping back up to the bridge there. He's going to go for the glide in to Tfue. Going to grab that slurp up top. And if you're a FaZe supporter here in San Jose, make some noise, please. Oh, yeah, Jack. Round 3 potentially here. Jerem and J-Love. Oh, it is Tendons and Punisher, which, by the way, if you recall, Tendons actually won a game of Summer Skirmish solos with a trap. Do you remember that play? Because it was crazy.
That was actually nuts.
Jerem getting the knockdown on Punisher, the pistol, the hand cannon, tack, and green burst here in J-Love's inventory. Not too bad early game.
They have such a health advantage. I mean, already with 177, there's the elimination. And these early game fights, I mean, these guys, they know they're coming to this point. They know what to expect, but it's just got to be so frustrating. Like, most times, these fights, both teams have been either, like, one team is a limb, the other team has one player left, and they just never let themselves be in good spots.
A quick wall replacement into an edit. Tendons down below, just sitting, waiting, biding his time, maybe throwing off. Did they lose track of it? Nope.
No,
looks
not
like
anymore.
J-Love has an idea here. Looks through the surface there in the corner. The tack shot. Tendons goes down to his teammate's rocket launcher, actually. You hate to see it, but a good position there for German J-Love.
Oh, wow.
Aiden already down and eliminated as Nick Merck says, yeah, you guys don't get to finish together either.
Whoa, Superman. Or Super Evan.
Very
and Godnick. They get a point on the board, and in Tilted, not a point yet for the score. They need one more limb, but they have won themselves Tilted Towers this game, it appears.
Now, do you consider dropping into the same location, which they lost that 2v2 previously twice in a row? Is that confidence, or is that them just being stubborn?
I'll tell you, you know, game 1, it wasn't that close. Game 2 was absolutely close with Aiden clutching up. Game 3 goes down to 1v1, and oh no, the Clingers drop over peak just like that. Dopeye will be left all by himself.
He does pick up 2 elims of his own. Dopeye looking down another. Maybe he didn't realize there was a gold AR under that ramp back there that he did not pick up.
Nolan just fell to his death. He didn't pop or redeploy on the glider. And that's something that we've actually seen a couple times. It's like, when you're still in those panic moments, you've played a year of Fortnite essentially, where there's no such thing as glider redeploy, where you fall from those builds and you were like, oh, I'm done. There, had the chance to redeploy the glider so that it didn't, you know, die to the extreme fall damage, but actually does wind up dropping to it. Might be a little bit of a panic scenario, nerves getting to him on the main stage, who knows. Swapping on over to Retail Row now as Enigma and Fuzzy are playing from this high ground.
Y'all look at right
Fuzzy actually blocks himself there. Does get the shield tag, and that difference in audio tells Fuzzy that this player has no shield left, and that's why he gets so darn aggressive. One more just above. His shield now gone as well. He needs help from Enigma.
little bit of fall damage there. Fuzzy without a shotgun right now makes it a little tougher to play up close. A lot of players leaning on that shotgun. The amount of damage you can deal just so fast. A quick burst of damage can mean the difference between knocking your opponent, getting knocked yourself, and without one, it's tough to make aggressive pushes. But Enigma at the tack, great tactical shotgun, taking some shots there. 67 shield, gets the elimination on Imperial Howl.
Nice cleanup there, and that's the help they needed. I mentioned Fuzzy was getting weak. Enigma had to step in and soak some shots, and there you go. Good little bait and switch now over to Blind and Hysteria. Early on, they did well back in game number 1 of this grand final. Had more of a quiet game 2.
At this point, they've got to just be trying to root out. And there you go, the angle from the side. Blind, kind of, it's like turning a flashlight on roaches, you know, trying to get them to move around a little bit underneath as Hysteria is waiting from the side to get an angle. And he's got one right there if he could take the shots, and he just barely misses his opportunity to do so. Gonna make a push up to try and stay with Blind. You don't want to be too separate. You might have an angle from underneath. And Blind from above, the sandwich here. The rocket, and Blind down to 29 HP might mean the difference between winning this or not. And it looked like Blind in that engagement was getting shot from a third party. They might not be alone yet, and they're not. Blind and Hysteria both very low.
They have
grenades still coming in. The med kit, hopefully he's got 10 seconds to pop this off in Hysteria.
And this is that feeling that everyone knows when playing Fortnite. You're just almost praying that that you can get this med kit off in time, right? He's just sitting there.
Don't push me. Don't push me, please.
That 10 seconds takes forever to go by.
Looks like Rise are potentially going hard right for a flank. We'll have to see how that plays out shortly. But over here, Leaky Lake, Saf, and Ghoul rotating towards Tilted, or potentially just past it. Tilted won't be safe yet. We'll have to see what comes out from that. But this 2v2 Soar, Zextro, and Vinny. A team from Soar we've seen with solid gameplay in the past, the last 2 games. Wouldn't be surprised if we see the same here, but Zextro and Vinny also putting on an excellent show during their heats. Zextro, one of the more aggressive players we've seen, and he's going for it down on bottom. His opponent closing the edit, even though he took a little bit of damage through there, popping snuff shield, anything he could do. The slurp ticking there. Devious rotating outside, and Frosty's stuck in a box underneath too. These angles are going to be tough. Jack is up close. You have almost barely no time to make shots here, and Zextro pays the price. Devious might tick out to the storm, gets knocked and eliminated. 1v1. The shot 93, the shield, and cannot get the spray.
How weak was he? Yep.
21 left as the storm's ticking.
And look at all this loot Frosty now has. I will say, Frosty, Devious, and there you saw Vinny and Zextro. 4 of the more aggressive players in the lobby trying to hunt down those eliminations. And I think those 2 teams combined probably would have the most elims so far today if you took 2 teams and added them on up of any one of these lobbies.
On the left side of the screen there for a second.
Maybe Tifu and Cloaksy as well.
Potentially.
Yeah.
You saw the just a quick reference on how much material is harvested relative to what he's carrying right now. Full wood, 877 brick, 476 metal. We have not seen this early. 78 players left, and he's sitting on over 2,000 materials, 200 plus builds, a launch pad, 3 clingers. He's got an excellent setup right now. With a tac shotgun too, you don't necessarily need a swap weapon like we've seen with a heavy shotgun or a pump. So he's not missing out there just yet. Now the rift to go there looks like they're gonna bounce on out and try and get away as the storm is 1 minute and 15 from closing. And Germ going for it, potentially leaving Jayla behind to pick up the sniper, dropping that grenade launcher. Bizzle on the feed, securing an elimination on Cease. Now I'll be honest with you, Jack, I'm waiting to see 72 Hours and Chap show up, right? Hopefully at some point here. The feed been a little quiet this game. Felix eliminating Dopai with an SMG there. Right now, the most eliminations on any player in this game, too, Jack, is Super Evan, who took out Nick Merckx and Aiden and Tilted. Won that round 3 of that matchup. Saf and Ghoul go for a little pop here and fly across through the corrupted area. He's going to try and grab, the Shadow Cube. We've seen players use this to fly through the air with ease.
Now, I did just receive word from production that player, if you remember from that the Frosty and Devious fight earlier, Frosty was in the zone and spent about 1.5 minutes in the zone healing, looting, and was so deep and now has to go so far that he flew up to the top of the Kevin Island and used the super boost from Kevin to fly all the way to this new zone. Again, a sign of a great player who knows how to use those insane rotations you can get. Spent all that time healing, and because he knows that little tactic, could wind up getting everything he wanted and then getting to the next zone with more than enough time.
Now that materials used list there on the left side, honestly significantly lower than we've seen a lot of other players, but it might not matter. Chug Jug to carry.
Do they see it? They have
Quad,
seen
they
it,
picked
right?
up a campfire as well, some minis.
Low on materials though for Gould. Here's Nibs in Korea again. They're always down towards the side of the map now at Racetrack. It looks like Perfect Tilt and Diggy had him trapped in this back room. He sneaks on into the walls. With no trap to use, Nib goes down.
Pro, the top-down view on pretty much everybody here. Tilt and Diggy taking shots. We saw them yet again. Just a reminder, the Heat 4 Make It Rain bonus. These two took home 40,000. Launchpad just to rotate away. At that point, I think the decision was made that we are in a bad spot.
Yep.
You have to make a move, and Paradise, potentially a good opportunity to do so. They can use these buildings like we've seen players in the past just replace the walls if they need to. That might be exactly what we see happening here. Just going to establish a base.
And the first thing you want to do when you do this is break down any walls that have windows, openings to the outside that can begin to shoot you in the back when you're least expecting. Another replay now from Villix and Jaganza, who took down Dopeye. We saw Dopeye again earlier on with Overpeak, of how Overpeak dropped. Dopeye left by himself. It's always tough when you're in those 1v2s. And yeah, again, you see every wall that gets taken down first is a wall that has some sort of opening to the outside world. They'll claim that building. Solo and Swag Noodles, love that name, have someone nearby. Seems like they're in a close range flight. I believe this is Hysteria and Blind. Yeah, it is. Hysteria with a knock. Solo all by himself. Make it rain time. Jack. Make it rain time. It's reset back to $10,000, but still a nice chunk of change. We're just getting some limbs during this. Solo has knocked out Blind, and now Hysteria is by himself. As I think he's trying to run away from a third party who wound up running on, and it looks like he's leaving Blind behind. Yeah, yep, it's Nate Hill and Funk Bomb who have 400 combined health versus that health on Hysteria, which will be now 75.
Back out as well, Jack.
I mean, that is just tough.
Had a shotgun there, but...
And look at the inventory for Nate Hill. 6.63 on materials, legendary assault rifle, both with heavy shotguns, legendary compact SMG as well. Here's the Make It Rain bonus right now. 3 teams tied at 1. He blew himself up. That's rough.
The wall bait there to get Hysteria to take himself out. And it looks like that knockdown on Blind, going uncashed in to the team that got the knock, was eliminated, I believe, by these two. Funk Bomb and Nate Hill secured that duo. We have 3 teams with 1 there. 4 minutes and 20 seconds left, $10,000. We have 2 teams still in the running right now, still alive. Actually, 2 teams total, based on what I'm seeing. I did not realize Hysteria and Blind being eliminated. They have 3 eliminations. Perfect Tilt and Diggy have 3 eliminations, so those 2 teams pick up a single point, but everybody else that's close is at 2 or less. Team from Ghost, Bizzle, and DMO.
Cloaksuit and
Tifu.
Tifu.
2 elims.
They love this zone. They have not moved from where they started at the beginning of this game.
This might be the lowest movement of any team thus far. I mean, they landed that set of houses down there and have moved northeast only slightly.
Yep.
North and Mr. Mowgli very split from each other. Mowgli down below, but at 175. We've got a team stuck probably the highest hill. Top-down view on everybody. Nate and Funk rotating in ever so gently, floating underneath. And
it looks like something happened there with Nate Hill as you see the frustration. We'll have to receive word on what exactly that was, as it definitely didn't look ideal from my perspective. As it seemed like his glider was malfunctioning a little bit, so we'll wait from League Ops on that one. But for now, we'll shift our focus towards Lefty and Jebber here. As they're just kind of gatekeeping as they are right on the edge of this zone. That's a lot of metal being used by those players in the low crowd. You can tell just how panicked they are. There's Chapin, 72 hours still in this one. Baldy and Gunfly, as well as Diggy and Perfect Tilt, all inside Paradise.
That's not all there. You see, this is further on the west side. The kind of a wider angle there. You have Margossi and Saint still alive on top of the hotel building. Ziff and Ronaldo here in the very southwest corner of this gas station with their own little base built up and going just for quick edits to take a look through. And typically you'll see teams like this, they'll edit a door and then instantly set it back so there's nothing there, just so they can look through and watch for any teams rotating on the outside. Going for a little loot sharing here, some materials back and forth as Ziff goes up to 0.44 in his material stack. Flame with FPS, Ziff, Ronaldo, Saf and Ghoul, all three of these teams right next to each other, just kind of waiting on this rotation. 54 seconds left until the next circle starts to move. 2 minutes remaining in the Make It Rain bonus, and no other team has gone past one elimination, which means if there's still a tie, that rolls over to the next game and will be 20,000. Dig until maybe going for an early move here, trying to get into an engagement so they don't get caught rotating, and J2 catches Baldy there, but it looked like Diggy actually got the knockdown, so that's their elimination.
So that means that they've got to be real close and oh gosh.
Down though, Diggy's got to look out here. 31 HP. He does have a med kit and a campfire. All sorts of HP healing. No shield buffer to build up there as Tilt's going to try and move in with his teammate just to keep it. Make sure he's safe. Stay inside the same box during like a med kit usage because the timing, 10 seconds is quite a bit of time, Courage. And if a team pushes in at that moment, your teammate can protect you just by building up walls or ramps, anything to prevent you from having to cancel that heal.
Make it rain. 1 minute and 10 seconds left. You know that this zone will inch forward. Still 70 players remaining in this game, or 60, sorry. So Rift to Go's been used. Who was that by? Couldn't even tell.
Potentially Diggy and Perfect Tilt. Now, one team, Ronaldo and Ziff, have 2 elims during this Make It Rain bonus, so we might see them pick up $10,000. Paid.
Oh no. He's got an elim right there, 600 HP. Ziff.
And that pair's still alive, by the way, so they're looking for their 3rd win in a row. Would be a Skirmish first if they can pick it up. Ziff by himself now, though, 96 HP.
3 victory royales in a row in this lobby is just, doesn't matter if you get 0 elims, you're doing something right. Obviously, they've had multiple elims in each game, but still. Absolutely nuts as Ziff getting some great shots down range. Currently, they're at 2 elims in this Make It Rain bonus, so if no one else ties it, they'll earn themselves $10,000.
You gotta be smart on this rotation, Ziff. You don't want to put yourself out in an exposed position. Only 40 HP, but it doesn't have the ability to heal at all. He is barely on the edge of the safe zone. The storm might actually stop halfway through the box. We'll have to see here in a second. Flame, the FPS still both intact. Flame, 200 HP.
He's just hanging out. Has a lot of materials, but my goodness, look at this next zone. So south on the map, I think that's where Cloak and Tfue had their old builds. Margossi and Saint done well so far today. Getting tagged on up. A lot of shields from Saint have been shredded off, and oh my gosh!
Snipe 89 meters from Mr. Mowgli, who we saw down on the south edge, just waiting at the bottom in terms of elevation. Gets a shot. Margossi, as he's rotating across, looks like Saint might be able to save him. Dementos goes down, which means that might be Pate, and that's Pate and Dementos eliminated. No 3-peat for that duo. Perfect Tilt picks up a pair of elims, puts him at 4. His teammate Diggy is at 2, which means they're 1 elim away from 3 points. After that, every elimination is an additional point. This could be a big, big bonus game for Perfect Tilt and Diggy.
Diggy and Perfect Tilt building on up, and oh no, you see the shred of those ARs. Turns back around, 1 player just drops to the edge of the zone. 51 players remaining now. They've got to go up the side of this mountain or go around it. And that angle is just so tough. He's building right next to other walls. Enemies could be lurking on the other side of that. Who even knows? Looking for some sort of hip fire as he hasn't gotten it yet. 2 more players nearby, and he gets dropped real quick.
Diggy and Perfect Tilt, I believe that looks like more aggressive gameplay because they've got to be going for this elimination just to secure that extra point. 45 are left. Which means they're well outside.
Are they at 6 elims combined right now?
Yep. Any sort of placement point, they're not close enough right now, which means if they get the elimination, Perfect Tilt gets a knock on provoked in the feed there, gets the elim. That's number 7, which gives them 3 points from this game. But Tfue and Cloak are there too. They're gonna have to look out.
Look at Tfue, look at Tfue, look at Tfue.
He just wants whatever loot there is here. A great upgrade for both weapons right there. The heavy shotgun in hand. The epic assault rifle in hand. You've got a rocket launcher you can pick up if you'd want to as well. 2 slurps right now for Cloaksy. I mean, you'd expect him to drop one. No, Tfue's already got 1 ticking, and they have a Rift to go. How?
Absolutely
How do these
kidding.
guys always have all this?
No idea. I want to point out super quick, Perfect Tilt and Diggy are sitting on 7 eliminations, which means if you see in the feed even a knockdown from Perfect Tilt, every single elimination, if it gets finished, that means another point.
They're going to save the Rift to Go as well.
Using another team's Rift to Go. The number of players in the air right now.
It's nuts.
Funk Bomb in the feed there.
This is Perfect Tilt. Remember, they are on the verge of big bonus. Every elim he can get right now would be just +1 point for his team, and they know it as well. He's looking to try to drop on down, maybe catch an opponent off guard. Cloakzy landing down on 1 Perfect Tilt for now, just staying alive. He's built his little 1-by-1 box. I believe Chap just got eliminated from this game. Not sure if 72 Hours is still alive. Balla drops as well. Perfect Tilt waiting for the opening. He's going to push on out, getting up towards this high ground, getting into the zone. He'll live to see another day. Oh my gosh.
Smack dab in the middle of the group here. This Storm smearing players off at the bottom. I expect the Storm to claim a number of players in just a moment here. And there it is. Look at the feed. Bumpa, DK, Vape Jesus, Left Eye, Windwalker, Wilds, J-Truth. Everybody going down here to the Storm. One of the roughest zones we've seen so far in the fall skirmish. And Perfect Tilt is still in it with maybe 5 HP tops.
It's these mountains, man. I'm telling you, can Perfect Tilt get this elimination? Nothing as of yet.
Just one.
He's doing everything he can.
7 HP.
No healing. What a hero he would be for his team if he can at least get one here. As he's waiting, one behind him. No.
Funk Bomb. 3 points is still fantastic for that duo.
100%. Bizzle's in a nice little spot to potentially shoot down on, or above onto opponents when they aren't expecting it. Not a lot of materials, though. Big thing to take note of. Go Sean. Knocks out Chiganza. Nice little pump shot right there. One player nearby, that's Skatch from Envy, who gets cut on down. You know he's going to drop to the zone. Tfue and Cloakzy still alive. Tfue still has a slurp to use. Hasn't had a chance to use it yet. And now he's down to the low ground. This could be the end of the game for Tfue. Cloakzy's still a lot more healthy. There you go, slurp now being popped. We'll slowly begin to tick that health back up.
At this point, every bit of healing could change the game for that duo.
The consistency of Tfue and Cloakzy,
it's impressive.
It's now 3 straight games in the top 10.
Still with an excellent kit, a ton of ammunition for everything. 10 rockets, 110 shotgun shells they'll never use, and there's one coming out, tries to get that, but it looks like Goshan actually picks that.
Goshan's down 5 elims himself, and look at 3 players in the high ground.
Flamed FPS all up top. Cloakzy, the shotgun on Goshan there. Picks up his 3rd elim. That's 6 total, like you said.
So
2 more. 1 more puts him at 7.
It's those 2 on the low ground, and the rest are all going to float down from above. They've got to move with this zone. And now they've got to, trade back with rockets of their own.
The zone's starting to close here. Jack is going to come down to potentially heal off. 2 teams above, 6 players remaining. Cloak and Tfue with no shield, 75 HP. Cloak, 100. He's in an excellent spot. Everything's reloaded. They're building up. They're basically establishing every single square on the bottom.
They've got a campfire and a med kit. They're trying to play around a potential low ground.
Funk Bomb gets a med kit off there.
Funk Bomb's
pushing in.
Funk Bomb's just trying to heal. Flame's got
everything. Gets the knock.
But Flame's got everything you ever need too. Cloakzy's trying to shoot down this top side so they can't heal. Can they do it? There's just 3 players left. They're dropping him on down. Will they be able to out-survive this zone? They're floating. Tfue's now knocked. He can't use his heals. Cloakzy ticking on down. Just 20 health remaining. Gets 1. Who wound up winning it? Cloakzy's down on the low ground as well, I believe. They got it. They did.
1. Are you kidding me? The last second push out into the Storm may have changed that game from a 3rd or 2nd to a 1st place to Victor Royale. $50,000 for the gentleman from FaZe, Jack.
Cloakzy can do no wrong today. Cloakzy can do no wrong.
We got to look
Here
at this
it is
again.
From his perspective. Yeah, we cut away at an awkward time, but this hip fire right there, Funk Bomb drops to the Storm alongside Flame.
Even just one of those AR shots from Cloak may have changed that.
Ladies and gentlemen, you made some noise, but that was not only a victory royale. They had 7 eliminations, a 6-point game. Tfue and Cloakzy, it's like they heard the interview.
They did. They absolutely did.
It's like they heard it, and they said, no. Not giving you 3 in a row. It won't be easy. That means in the first 3 games, Tfue and Cloakzy, they got 2nd, they got 3rd, and now they've gotten 1st. Brilliant stuff from this duo. There's been threads about it on Reddit. There's been talk on all sorts of social media. Are these 2 the most consistent duo in all of Fortnite? And guess what? I think right now they're continuing to build that case even more.
They put on a show in Heat 1, Jack. You and I had the opportunity to cast that, but this is absolute insanity.
100%.
the progression of gameplay from these two, kind of sinking in, getting comfortable with the situation, and now just asserting dominance. Last second pushes into the storm, which we have not seen like that before. It's wild.
Even down to the way that they were using the rockets, because how many times have we seen now this weekend where you play that high ground and you just, you know, place down the campfires and heal on up to out-heal the storm. Cloakzy realizes that, turns and rockets down Flame, who was just gonna sit and heal there all day. That's the reason why they were able to win it. Again, super evident Godnik, this is how they wound up winning this battle this time around. It helps when you get a legendary double barrel off the break.
That early in a game is impressive. Super Evan. Godnik finally basically saying, yeah, we could take tilted too. This is perfect tilt, and Diggy inside a box there. Nibs gets caught off guard as his teammate Korea is already down. Village Jaganza. We've seen Jaganza a number of times during Heat 2. Man, paradise towards the end of this. Absolutely stacked with players. At this point, you see 60 left, 52 left. Perfect Tilt and Diggy did make their way to 7 eliminations. Couldn't quite get the big bonus. We had 2 teams that game with 7 eliminations going for that big bonus. Couldn't quite land it, but Cloak. Look at that, the reaction.
It's much deserved. I mean, look at 2 more ticks to the zone is all he had. The way that they end that game, they get exactly 7 eliminations. They get the victory royale, puts them at +6 points there. And now, for me, it's no question. They absolutely have to be the #1 spot again. They took it back from Dementos there and Pate. But either way, great stuff so far today. Here's a look at our standings.
No surprise, Jack. 17 eliminations.
God.
A 6-point dominant lead from Cloakzy and Tfue from FaZe, Dementos and Pate in second. We've got only a handful of teams thus far, 3 games deep, with double-digit eliminations, which I think outlines exactly how some of these players are playing. Strategic play is everything. Third-partying happens quite a bit, but man, you just can't deny. Look at the 17 elims, it's insanity.
And I'll tell you right now, Cloakzy and Tfue, obviously members of FaZe. You see Nate Hill there in third, another member of FaZe. They've got some great representation here today. Ghost Bizzle and DMO in that 13th spot. After that rough game 3, though, Nick Merckx and Aiden do drop down from 13th to 17th. Also on your screen there, you see Champ in 72 hours, 4 limbs in total at 21st. We're halfway through the action so far today, and my goodness, it has been electric. Hundreds of thousands watching online. You see this crowd behind me. I mean, there's not an open seat anywhere. What a blast I'm having. It's an honor to be be up here with you, Lupo, having a blast casting this. And I think by the end of today, if Tfue and Cloakzy continue this performance, there is no doubt in my mind. I mean, you can already make a very good case, but I feel like there's no way you can say that they aren't the best duo in all of Fortnite right now. And we also have our Make It Rain winners as well. We're about to announce. I believe it was Ronaldo and Zip. Oh, wait, I just got told to hold on that. So we're going to wait now. We're getting a 17
double checking just to be safe
on that one. But either way, but back to the Tfue and Cloakzy point. I mean, for me, and I'll ask you right now, if Tfue and Cloakzy win today, are they the best duo without a doubt in Fortnite right now?
I mean, to be quite honest with you, we've seen them through all of Heat 1, and not even just this skirmish. We've seen them repeatedly in Fortnite events before this just put on an absolute, it's like a clinic in domination. I would say without a doubt, if these two take home the victory, if they keep this trend going, they're at 17 elims after only 3 games, and they were at 20 after 4 games in Heat 1. If they can win this thing and keep this going, absolutely the best duo right now in Fortnite, without a doubt.
Absolutely nuts. So some of the highlights from the end of this game. For me, it's without a doubt, Cloakzy is the MVP of today so far. The way they use these rockets, you see there, the players, they were trying to campfire and heal. By them shooting them down, they stopped any chance of a heal off going down to the wire, which this team, Cloakzy had no intention of doing. Look at his inventory. He was not going to be able to have any sort of a heal off, even down to how they pushes that again, the pop off at the end. They know just how big that was, far and away, pulling away from the rest of the pack. Second place has 7 points. They have 13, nearly doubling the score.
That's crazy, and like you said, Cloak, they're going full send to secure that as much as they can. Now, I just got word, Jack, the Make It Rain was actually a tie.
Oh, okay, so
a tie.
We'll have to carry that money over then, I guess, to 20,000 for next game. So,
game 4,
hey,
20K.
It sweetens that purse just a little bit more. Remember, game 4 is not our last game today. We're only halfway done with the action. There's 6 games in this grand finals. And again, if you've enjoyed the fall skirmish, make sure You let the people know. Tweet
about it.
Tweet at Epic. Tweet at Fortnite. Hashtag Fortnite TwitchCon. Hashtag Fall Skirmish. I think that's how you motivate them to run more of these things, right?
Absolutely. At this point, I don't think they're slowing down, Jack, to be honest with you. This is Fall Skirmish so far has been incredible. We've seen some crazy plays. We had the trials over the course of the weeks, too, that we saw streamed online all over the place. People were trying to pull off, stacking vehicles in the screenshot for the end game, which was crazy. And that one is actually completed literally the first game by multiple teams. We had people building the Eiffel Tower out of materials in Fortnite in playground mode, a great place for you to practice all your building and shooting and anything. I mean, you could even go for score records with the four-wheeler. I think I spent 6 hours one night trying to do that, which was a huge waste of my time, but it's super entertaining.
Hey, you held it for a minute there.
3 days, Jack. I had it for 3 days, and then it was beat.
Hey, at least you've gotten a record out there once before, but we've been talking about so many players who've been participating this weekend, how they've done in the heats compared to now. One of the teams that absolutely popped off in the heats was Vape Jesus and Pain. We chatted with them a little bit earlier on today.
Top 3 moments of my life, winning this. Like being at TwitchCon, being my first TwitchCon with my teammate. He's West Coast, I'm East Coast, and we play from different servers. So coming together and it working out perfectly, it's such a good feeling, man.
Honestly, I thought we would have been 3rd.
That was what we were going for. Let's place, let's make it to the finals, and the finals we go all out.
But when they're Pain and Vape first, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, I had "Let's go" in capital running through my head. Let's go, dude. I was so happy, man.
Yeah. So we had the 1 point coming into the final game, and then we hear shots. So we're like, all right, cool, let's go rift, take a kill. And as we're rifting over there, it was perfect. So he starts Kakar, I'm like, I'm gonna start Kakar. So we're both birds just flying in. We swoop in, take the kill, and just jump off the top of the tower that they had and just start Kakaring again away. Yeah. And we just go back to farming.
Don't give up to that final game, because
don't even give up the final game.
We had 1 point and jumped to first place from that final game. It's insane. So it's always try, always do your best. Even if your teammate dies, because I died and then he came in and still did it. It's just you can't tilt yourself.
They had 1 point and one monster game from Pain made all the difference there to wind up putting them into that top spot, securing their spot here at the grand finals on Sunday, the last day of TwitchCon. What an event it's been so far. Fortnite, it's worldwide. It's going on everywhere. So many people. The phenomenon continues. And with the amount of people watching right now online and also wanting to compete at these events, wanting to get involved, it's great to see. What's the standout for you so far this weekend from what we've seen at the event?
Seeing players adjust on the fly to the strategy changes that came in with 6.2, the glider redeployment while midair has added variety in a way that I didn't really anticipate. We saw Nick Merckx and Aiden at the L buildings and Tilted Towers. All sorts of things have changed with the way that players take engagements against each other. We've seen people even taking an opportunity to escape from maybe a top-down situation they didn't have the advantage on. Plus, on top of that, previously, we've seen people, maybe if you're in a disadvantageous position, if you have somebody built up above you, you can go for an opportunity to shoot the structure out. That's not, that doesn't punish anymore, and because of that, players have adjusted their play style. And I love seeing competitive, top-tier Fortnite players do things like that, because it's a learning opportunity for everybody that's watching.
It excites me because I feel like we're still going to learn some new things in these last few games, probably some tricks up some of these players' sleeves as we are halfway through the action for today. We are going to go to a very brief break. DJ Yonner's going to spin some tunes as we use the restroom, powder on up, and get back for the rest of the action today. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, the Fall Skirmish Finals continues. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back live from TwitchCon. The Fortnite Fall Skirmish Grand Finals continues halfway through the action so far, and what a day it's been up to this point. Courage joined by Dr. Lupo. You're doing a great job, Ben.
Same to you, my friend.
Let's keep it going.
No, you didn't.
Games down. Only 2,000 damage received. Tons of wood acquired. But did you see the gap there? The material used was 5,000 different.
My gosh.
They picked up 5,000 materials from either chests off the ground or, unsurprisingly, their opponents after they're eliminated.
Wild.
The utilization there is incredible too. 12,000 materials used is insane. But it shows why they do it. You've watched through these games, replacing the walls of structures that they're in. The efficient path, by the way, through these buildings, knowing exactly where to go to pick up every chest they can.
Well, the loot,
all the furniture too.
The loot is just so dense here. There's so many chest spawns, and they're so, like, look at this. There's probably, what, 10, 12 chest spawns just in that little area right there, that when you claim it, when you're by yourself,
Jack, it's uncontested.
It's uncontested. You know they're going to be maxed out on everything. They've already both got max shields. You've got a legendary double barrel already in the hands of Cloaksy. They're going to farm all these materials. Go Seft.
Looking at
that
this
early,
start,
this first player dropped.
Does it surprise you in the least that these two come out of here so kitted?
No.
Constantly, look at this. 3-0-0 on the materials, but multiple shields, an epic heavy shotgun, kitted to the teeth. Horrifying Vanitize over here in Salty, down the street from them. Windwalker and his duo in this blue building, a couple of floors down below. The snipe shot. 130 Rangers going for the elimination there. His teammate is able to wall it off. Windwalker going to try and save. As
I'm surprised he
didn't
didn't see, like, right there. Right there, I think is a perfect example of a player still not used to the new mechanic of the Glido redeploy. Horrify now using it, but Vanitize could have closed the gap way quicker. Oh no, he blocked his teammate, this player. Vile immediately dropped. You got Horrify still challenging. Nice 40+ tag on the shotgun there. They want to clean up the second player as soon as possible, give no chance for another team to come third party this fight. Chasing it down, 33 health tag. Now the end might be near for this player on the other side of this wall.
Windwalker is still doing everything he can to try and make it away. All this noise being made right now, you've got to think somebody has eyes on this somewhere. Almost not landed, 10 HP left. Windwalker trying to take him out the last second. There's Elevate, maybe making a move up there.
And that's what I'm saying. That's why they wanted to take him out quick, because now Cease is there as well. Super Evan and Godnick fighting Aiden and Nick Merckx again for the 4th straight game now, I think.
Aiden's got the knock this time, which means a 2v1 situation as Aiden's healing, but Nick Merckx has a top-down view on these two, and he could go for the elim there. SMG securing that first elimination for this duo in Tilted.
Super Evan
all the way down the bottom,
yeah.
Getting the med kit. A full use there, which means 100 HP. And for a player like Super Evan, these competitive players, 100 HP might be all that he needs to take out this duo, depending on positioning, rotation, maybe a quick edit and a shot through a window.
That's all you need.
To see here, saw a trap in Nick's inventory. Aiden kind of waiting on the stairs. See his opponent rotating around. The angle here might be good enough. He's going to go for the stink and gets himself instead. He's going to have to rotate back away from that. Nick is still able to move through it, but that's damage ticks on Aiden if he moves down. He's not going to. He's going to try and skirt it around the edge.
And there in the elimination feed, you actually elevate just shotgun, Horrify, and Vanitize. So they get in that scrappy fight. It takes them just so long to get that other elimination that they draw all this attention. That gives Elevate time to push on in before they can heal. And just like that, they're dropped. Oh, Aiden just got chunked.
Shotgun there. Nick's going to try and smack out the roof above. A pinch here, kind of a sandwich. Looks like a third team. Vinny and Zexro, we've seen very aggressive in the past. I saw a legendary heavy shotgun in the inventory, I believe, of Vinny, as Nick and Aiden are trying to build inside this building. I'm thinking at this point, Aiden probably has no healing. The trap maybe preventing a push. Nick might go for a drop down, and he goes for it and gets Super Evan on. Oh my gosh, Jack.
The game sense. The game sense to know to do just that.
That's why Tilted belongs to Nick and Aiden, my friend.
But now look at what Zexro and Vinny are doing. They're max shields. They are in such a brilliant position to do some damage. I think Nick and crew, they're going to try to disengage for the moment. They don't want this fight. And this has been the same sequence of fights that they've had each game so far. They fight Super Evan and crew. Then it's immediately Zexro and Vinny who wind up pushing to fight them. I would almost be certain that Nick Merckx and Aiden know it's these two. And that's why they're playing it this way.
At this point, too, I feel like Vinny and Zexro have to have this as their strategy, because they know that these two teams are going to get engaged with each other, and they have a history of making it last quite a while. So an opportunity for the third party is almost easy. It's not scripted, but you know, it's writing itself.
100%.
You know? They're gonna rotate in there every single time if they think they have an opportunity to get at least 1 or 2 easy eliminations.
Enigma and Fuzzy.
You said it first. Go ahead.
Now building on up. Couple of grenades on out. Oh, I thought that one might have connected. Fuzzy's got the hunting rifle. Looking for an opening, just narrowly misses. There's still 92 players left. 92 players remaining. We're 7 minutes into this game.
Couple tap shots. Enigma and Fuzzy going to rotate away, deciding maybe as the storm is coming in, it's a better option to make a move. Kind of low on materials for a competitive match like this. Only 500 total right there in the inventory. Go by an over peak. Have someone trapped in a box down here. Greasy, the shot from behind, the pinch from both sides. SMG spray coming out as building against that. It's going to be tough, but it might be able to pull it off. Now, Yo-Yo, keep it up, and Auto Game Bro go down to over peak. Pair of elims there. Greasy. Curious if there is another team. They are pretty far towards the outside. The zone. Greasy, one of the kind of the edge POIs, so oftentimes you won't have somebody rotating from the backside. Vape uses in pain here and Shifty. It's like only a slurp in terms of shield between the two of them thus far. In the feed, 72 hours, picking up a knockdown and an elim on tempo, which Geomox should be nearby. Here's your zone thus far. Basically, nobody's stuck outside in the storm. Still a llama on the map. It's actually 2 llamas, one well outside. Nobody's going to find that one. And one by Dusty, probably going to go unclaimed as well. Free 600 materials is disappointing.
Yeah.
They uses a bounce pad. Sorry, the launch pad. Blue SMG, blue pump, green AR. Not a whole lot of ammunition.
And they're in the elimination feed, actually. The Atlantis duo. That was a team I was going to talk about here soon. All we could do the other day in their heat was speak about how great they were. Today, quiet to this point. Seems like they've got 2 of them so far in this game. We'll keep you up to date on if they earn themselves a point to potentially begin to move up these standings.
I would almost expect that team from Atlantis to go along the same path as Liquid. 72 Hours and Chap have that kind of forward mindset. They're going to put the previous 3 games behind them, 4 eliminations between the 2 of them. Atlantis sitting relatively similar. A combo of bounces. Look at that.
Nice movement
just
right there.
Floating up top. Nick Mercs and Aiden still in tilted, a 2v2, and both of them with quite a bit of shield and HP. 100, 100, 195. So on the trap, a tap from above, a team maybe not realizing that they're up there. Builds himself to a little bit of a box. He's going to edit his way down. Trying to escape this. This point, probably looking for Aiden for a little backup, and there it is. Aiden taking shots as that other team starts to float down, but somebody lands up top of this red brick building and able to deal 30 damage to Aiden. Looks like another team coming from the basketball court, the northwest corner of Tilted. Nick, bottom floor here, and look, you got a couple teams coming in here, Jack. Pate, Dementos, Sexro, and Vinny up top. Diggy in perfect tilt over just past L's. The most eliminations for any player in this game right now, still only 2 for Horrify. I say only as if it's not very many, but right. 85 players remaining, only 15 have gone down, and Peyton Dementos. Look at this, any material they can get. They're in the bottom of this building, and it's the floor, but they're gonna knock it out in an attempt to get every little bit, every build they can pick up is important.
Yep. Seems like that's now their home. Still chill down there for the moment.
That teddy bear didn't deserve that, Aiden. He doesn't even give materials, Jack.
Yeah. Dang. You know, shows Aiden's true
colors coming out.
It's again, the people, you just tell how horrified the viewers were. Nick just staying in it. It's crazy to think that Nick having 62 shield and Aiden having just about near that as well is the least amount of shields of the players in Tilted. That's how healthy everyone here is. Look at this. That, yeah, literally. Them with that much shield is the least amount of all the 4 teams there. Now shifting our focus towards the south side of Pleasant. Zoop and Crodot, Jamok nearby, and grenades soaring on in. Not just 1 or 2, like 10.
A whole handful. Zoop trying to build against it. Able to do so, it appears. He has 3 clingers of his own, might respond with it. But J-Truth, 1 HP, full shield. But any fall damage looks like it could be an elim there. Reminder, as you see on your screen, this is match 4 of 6 of the grand finals here in San Jose at TwitchCon. The finale for the fall skirmish. If you're not watching, if you don't have friends watching, tell them to watch. Get in here. Nick Merckx and Aiden is knocked with almost no HP. The save might be impossible. As Nick's going to try and defend against this. His own trap above him, boxes himself in. He's going to go for this med kit. Even he's only got 39. At this point, if he feels outclassed, he needs to pop that rip to go, and he's going to do so, taking both opponents with him. A full reset, and there is a team up top. Vinny and Zexro have that top down still, and everybody's going to wall himself off, pull the wall on a ramp to try and save it. He's going to go for that med kit usage. 39 HP could mean the difference between surviving this and being eliminated, but you hear that.
Make It Rain has begun. Who will win the $20,000 Make It Rain bonus? Again, that's the most eliminations in zones 3 and 4. Zexro has been up top tilted on that. Huge build for the last, like, 5-6 minutes.
It's been a while.
Diggy and Perfect Tilt as well, just hiding in double L's. Here's Blind and Hysteria in their fights that just went down. Let's see how it all played on out. Nice shot from Hysteria. Cracks him with that pump. As Nick has no shields left, no teammate left, but a chest. Oh, there you go. Can't complain with that. Can't complain about that at all.
I want to point out too, did you notice as Nick opened that door, the quick flick up, he made just a quick circle with the right stick to check the ceiling to see if there's any trap in there.
If you're in Tilted Towers, you need to do that at any moment of the game.
It's like Tilted Towers training, essentially.
Yes. You want to be two of the best players in all Tilted Towers, in just Fortnite in general, you need to make plays like that. And Dope at Overpeak, they know they have an advantage in this fight. They will not hesitate. They'll chase this down right away. Probably expect a bunny hop. There it is. And that little bit of movement you get after landing as the inertia carries you, the momentum. Dope building on up. Quick build battle. And again, you rarely get to see these build battles, it feel like, at this point in the game. But look at this. There was